Hello and good morning, everybody. Wow, what a beautiful day. So, this video is for my buddy, RRG269 Rick. He's playing this game, and he's having some difficult times, so I thought I would help him out a little bit and show him the ropes. I mean, I've done it all through my video, and I've tried to make it as plain as I can, but Rick doesn't watch my videos. He says he watches my videos. He don't watch them because they got all the information that he needs in them. But hey, I'm just saying, he is my buddy, so I am going to help him. So when you get ready to start cooking, it's going to tell you to put down a bonfire and cook some meat. So if you take and put down the bonfire, walk up to it and push your E. I changed its F. Originally, when you come into this game, the open stuff and everything is an F, but I changed it inside the settings to the E. So you open it up, you put your wood in there, and it goes into the consumable bar. That is for all of your different types of ways to start a fire. Wood, coal, whatever you're using. Down below is the inventory. You put the meat in the inventory. You're going to cook some meat. You click on the meat over here like this. You activate it and the fire starts. You click on the meat and over here it's going to show you what you can cook. I'm going to click on this meat and then I can either tell it I want it all or I can do it individually. So I'm using this little arrow here, double arrow, to cook it all. And then I just cook and it just starts cooking. Down in the bottom far left corner you can see it's cooking and it fills up over here, so you can just leave it and it'll cook. That's how you do cooking. It's when it took me a few minutes to figure it out too, Rick, because it's not the easiest process. The creator of this game has done an awesome job on the different things, but like a lot of creators, sometimes they don't give you good instructions and it's kind of confusing. So that's how you cook in this game. Very simple. Once you do it once or twice, you're like, oh wow, okay, that's pretty easy. And then up here, I'm going to show you what the tables do and the talents and stuff. If you go up to your table and open it, all of the different types of tables that you can have are listed in here. This is where you make them. You make everything in here. And then once you make the table, then you're going to come over and open them, and it's going to tell you what it does. Like this does iron and lead and copper, and it does the advanced refinement. I've opened up lime and silicone, and that's all in here. And notice in consumables, I have my wood, and down below are all the different minerals, and this is working. If you'll notice at the very bottom, it's working. On the far left at the very bottom, it's telling you what it's going to make. So it's working its little tail off. And then over here, your forge. To make this forge, though, to make different tables, you have to have different materials. I really highly recommend that you make this manual miner. I show you how to use that, I think, in my second video, but make this manual miner, because that's how you can get copper, you can get all kinds of different stuff, and I'll show you that here in a minute. Personal gear is the next table you're going to make, so make sure you make your personal gear table. Personal gear table is going to allow you to do all this. Make clothes, make tools, make mods, make weapon ammo, all that kind of good stuff. So make sure you do that one, okay? That's where in your gear. Now it's going to tell you that it needs salt and it needs all this stuff. If you come over here to the to the chemist bench, it's going to tell you what it's going to allow you to make. You can make all this stuff if you have the ingredients. And it tells you what you need in the middle of the screen. When you click on something, it'll tell you what you need, okay? So click on the item on the far left. You have a list of what the table will make. Click on the item that you like. Like if you want to make rubber. You click on rubber and notice in the middle of your screen, you'll see rubber, and then below it'll tell you to make rubber you need the plant mucus. And then again, you can tell it how much you want and you can start crafting. Okay? So that's how you get tables to work for you. And then you can start advancing. To get copper and things like that when you first start, this mining machine is going to do that. If you walk up to this machine, hit E, it's going to ask you, do you want ores or do you want oil? If you say ore, you're going to get on it and just let it go. Don't touch it. Let it run. And it's going to help you get all the minerals that you need to do the things that you need to do. And usually what I do when it gets dark, I get on this machine and just stand on it and just walk away. I go get me a glass of water or go to the bathroom or whatever I need to do in real life, and I just let this thing run all night long till the sun comes up. And then after you've been on it for a while, you get off, and you do that with the E. You get on with E and you get off with the E. And then to open it, to open the menu, you just click it once. You hold it to get on, but you click it to look inside. And notice inside I got some salt and some lead. If you let it run longer, you'll get copper. You'll get all kinds of different minerals up here that you can use to do projects with. Okay? Now, if you hold the E and you go to oil collection, do the same thing. So some nights I do oil, some nights I do minerals. And just let it run. When you first start, this is the best way to get the minerals that you need to build stuff with, okay? And I just stand here. Like I said, I just go do stuff. But I do it at night because you can't sleep in this game. So if you can't sleep, you got to find something to do, right? So I just get on the machine and then I walk around the house and vacuum or do whatever. And then I come back when the daylight comes out. But that's the way you do it. And then you get off. Open it up. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Open it up. Notice I now have oil. But this thing also makes clay. It makes sand. The oil production or the oil collection does all that. So you get a lot of different type of minerals. You just have to let it sit for a while. So that right there, I hope will help you, Rick. It'll get you started and let you start building everything that you need to build. Some tables, when you first start, the chem table is not that big of a deal. It really doesn't do anything at first until you open up different things. Now let me show you also on some stuff, okay? Put the shards in your hand and put, do I have any books? Yeah, put the books in your hand. Okay, put them in your inventory, and then you're going to open up your tech. When you open up your tech, notice that mine have yellow checks. Each box that I have open has a yellow check. If you notice on yours, I noticed on your last video, that 16-minute video, I noticed that when you opened your tech, there were boxes that were lit up, but they were not checked. Let me see. See these boxes right here? Look in the right-hand corner of a dark box. Notice the number in the right-hand corner is red. That means you're not that level. If you look down in the far left at the very bottom, I am level 26. So I cannot open up some of these because they're too high. I can't open them. But everything that is gray, you have to click on it, Rick. You can't just look at it. It doesn't automatically ignite it or open it or whatever you want to call it. You have to actually click on the gray box and it'll put a check in the right-hand corner at the top. When it does that, it's open. Okay? These really super dark ones, you can't touch them until you reach the right level. I'm going to see if I have one in here. Like right over here. See all the ones that I have open? They have the yellow check up in that right-hand corner is a yellow check. If I scroll over to the right some, notice that the bolt rifle, notice that it's got a plus sign, but it doesn't have a check. So if I go to craft this item, you won't see it. Let me show you. If we go over here to personal gear, open that up. Notice the shotgun's in there, but there's no rifle, right? There's no rifle. There's a pistol, but there's no rifle. So if we go back up here, and I go back to the tech and go to weapons, and now I put a check, and see what it says? It's going to use your shards, those glowy things that you get. Let me show you. These guys are shards, and you have to have them in order to open up different stuff once you get to a certain point. So that's what these shards are for, to open up different things. So go back to tech and look at it, and as you start opening stuff, notice the screen, because it'll tell you how many shards you have to open these items. Like this rifle right here, the bolt rifle. It tells you that you got to have 30 shards to open up this rifle. 30 shards. I think that's a bit much, and I don't know if I want to open it right now. Now this scope down at the very bottom, there's a 4x scope. I have a shotgun right now, so I don't really need a scope. There are Molotovs. I can open Molotovs. But before I open this stuff, I want to make sure that there's not something else I want to do. You know what I mean? But that's how you read this thing, okay? Look, make sure they have that little check in that far right corner, or you cannot make these items. You have to have that check there, okay? And if they're blacked out like the rest of them, look in that right corner and you'll see that there is a number, and that number will tell you I'm currently level 26. I have to be a level 27 to open this up. Alright, I hope that helps you, Rick, and makes the game more pleasant, because this is a good game. Modification platform. Wow, okay. I haven't got all there yet. I'm going to slow down a little bit on making this stuff, because I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'm lost. Oh, shoe padding. Look at this. Reduces stamina loss while running by 10%. Can be placed on shoes. I want that one. And it cost me shards. It used 30 shards. 45 shards. And I got 30 left. Yeah. It gets more expensive the further you go down. That's for sure. So, some of these things have these little boxes off of them, and they do different things. Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't open up the alcohol because I find a lot of it in those villages, so I didn't open up alcohol. Right up above that, you see fruit pie. I'm going to open up the fruit pie. I'd like to be able to make that because it's berries, sugar, and flour, and we have that. So I'm going to make some fruit pies. Gosh, I can't talk this morning. But that's how you use your shards, okay? Just make sure it's got that check up in that right corner and you know it's open. If you don't have a check, then it's not going to open. Now, the books. These books are like in 7 Days to Die. They're your talent books. Up here on the top, you see the word talent. If you open that up, however many books you have in your inventory. Right now, I don't have a lot of books. I used a lot of mine. But however many books, you can upgrade this stuff. You just have to pick out the one that you want. At the very bottom of it, it'll tell you that you have to be a certain level. Like I have to be a certain level in this one. If I wanted to swim fast, I'd have to be a level 15 and have at least 9 books to do this one action. I didn't do that. I went down here to combat. I'm trying to build up my gun stuff, so I've been putting it down in this stuff. But the next level, see, if you notice, it's 1 of 5, 1 of 5, 1 of 5, 0 of 5. Because I haven't opened it. I've only got 1 in each one of these. Kind of like different levels. You know what different levels work like in 7 days. It's the same thing in here. So I've been pumping up my levels. And tell you the truth, I haven't really noticed a difference in my attack. I don't know. This game is so new. I'm not sure. There's a lot of bugs. There is a lot of bugs. And I have been experiencing those bugs. If you go over here to task, this will tell you what you're doing. Like this one is in progress. As you complete them, they work their way down. Now you noticed over here on the right hand side, I've really been not doing the right thing. I haven't been building the right stuff. Up in the right hand corner, my task tracker. Yeah, I need to work on that. But that one that says unlock and craft simple bandages on crafting table, that's a glitch. Once you do it in your inventory, you do it in your inventory, not in the crafting table. You don't do bandages in the crafting table. You do bandages in your inventory. And it won't go away. So just kind of disregard that and drop down to the next one after you do it. After you make a few bandages, then it's stuck. I don't know why it's stuck. I'm hoping on the next update they fix that, but I don't know. Anyway, I hope that helps you, Rick. I hope it really does, because I know how it feels to get stuck in this game, and I want to help you out. So enjoy and let's play, okay? All right.